Good morning, everyone. Welcome into another week and another episode of the Run Your Day podcast here with Dan Hafner. As always, pleasure joining you, and thank you very much for joining me for your morning commute or morning ritual or whenever and wherever you listen to this show. Really appreciate you guys. So the theme of the week is faith, and no, we're not going to be talking about religion. This is more of a different side of faith. And today's topic is throwing caution to the wind. As always, thank you for joining. Sit back, relax, and enjoy today's show.
Welcome to the Run Your Day podcast, where our goal is to expand your focus and perspective on life. This is your daily dose of motivation, mindfulness, and so much more. And now, here to help you take your day back, your host, Dan Hafner.
All right, everyone, welcome into the show again. As I talked about in the intro, this week's theme is going to be focused on faith. And I don't want you to get the wrong idea about this. I'm not going to go into any religion or any belief systems or anything like that. So this mainly has to do with faith and belief in yourself and just, more along that lines and that meaning of the word faith. So today going to dive into this topic of throwing caution to the wind. And I actually had a pretty good story to share with you guys as far as this went. And then I kind of just thought of like a different story to go with. So what I was like, especially what I was talking about when it came to this podcast, like this podcast was a huge throw caution to the wind moment for me. I had been practicing. I'd been wanting to do this for quite a long time, and finally got to the point where I had been practicing and just saving things on my computer, not putting them out there, not publishing them, and they were just basically saved for me. And then eventually I talked to somebody, kind of had like a little pep talk, and they were just like, hey, like just start publishing this stuff. Like even if it's not good, even if you're just doing it just to do it, who cares if no one listens, right? I talked about this in a previous episode. Like, who cares? No one really cares. I encourage you to go back and watch or listen to that show. That's a good one. But this concept of just eventually we get in our own way, we get in our own heads, and just having faith in yourself and just learning to just, just go for it. And the other story I wanted to share with you about is I'm going to be in California later this week. I'm going to a business conference, and it is it's something that I'm really, really excited for. Been looking forward to for a very long time. It's going to be something that I think is going to really change the way that not only I do business, but also the way that I look and see things, see things in the world as well. So I'll be sure to keep you guys up to date with that one. But I thought that this was very, very appropriate to talk about in terms of this topic for today, throwing caution to the wind, because to tell you the truth, I'm very anxious and almost scared to the point of going on this trip. There has been a lot of preparation, a lot of different things that I've thought about, had to plan for, had to do in order to make sure that this was actually possible. And I'll come back to this throughout the week, this whole theme of something that I am literally going through right now can be very, very applicable to whatever you're doing. And that's really what I talk about in this show, right? It's like the actual application of things that not only I go through in my life, but that you probably go through in yours. So really what it came down to was this, I found out about this conference earlier in the year. And it was like summertime, I think. And finally, I just decided to leap and just make a leap of faith and just purchase a ticket and just go for it. Because I knew that eventually you just have to declare something, right? You just have to jump in with both feet and just not look back. And that's what throwing caution to the wind is, right? And even to this point, like I'm going on Thursday, it's now Monday. Like there's still apprehension, there's still doubt, there's still fear, right? Because it's an unknown. You just don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what to expect. I don't know what it's all going to be like. And there's that fear of the unknown, right? But learning to throw caution to the wind and just say, you know what, screw it, I'm just going to go for it, is a lot easier said than done. I could sit here and talk to you all day about like tactics to help with that, or ways to deal with that or cope with that, anxiety that you might have about something. But at the end of the day, like, you just have to just have the guts to do something, it's really, really that simple. You just have to eventually. I always wondered, like, when I was a kid, I always thought about this term. What did it actually mean to throw caution to the wind? And me being like a very visual person, I had to like actually picture like someone driving down the road in a car and literally had like something that was labeled caution, and you would just throw it out into the wind, right? Like, that was how my brain worked, like as a kid, like how I thought of like, oh, what this actually means. And that's kind of how I've applied it throughout my life, as to like, when I am doing something like that, that's literally what I picture myself doing, like driving down the road, taking the thing that is, scaring me or causing me any anxiety, and literally throwing it out the window. So like that's one of my tactics. I don't know if that'll work for you. If it does, I'll be shocked, because that just is probably how my weird brain works. But that's just one thing that I've kind of used in my past and currently to just kind of get over those things, right? And there's an immense sense of relief that comes with doing that, because there's so many things that we get in our own heads about in our own way, and we just block ourselves from succeeding, when in the end, all those things that we were afraid of, all those things that we were anxious about, were really just fears in our own heads, right? So that's my little parable for you today, as far as, how to literally just take a leap of faith and just go for something, right? Just absolutely throwing caution to the wind, saying, screw it, I'm going to go for it, and I'm just going to go 100% all in on it. And that's the only way to do stuff, right? Like, if you hold back at all, I've talked about this before, like if you hold back at all in sports or in school, like, you're not going to actually get the desired result. You could actually get hurt. So it's like going all in is required in order to get the most benefit out of things. And that's my plan with it, is to go absolutely all in for 3 days and absolutely just dominate. That's the plan. But in order to do that, you need to take that little caution and throw it out the window. So this is my question for you today as I wrap up this show. Where are you not throwing caution to the wind? Where are you being apprehensive? Where are you overthinking? What is that area of your life that you are not willing to throw caution to the wind? And what is the one thing today you can do to actually throw that caution to the wind and start getting after it? So that's my question for you today. I'll post this up on our Facebook page. As always, check that out, the Run Your Day Facebook page. I just wanted to thank everyone who's been listening to the show for quite a while now. I'll actually share with you, I did set a actual podcast record yesterday for the number of plays on a Sunday, nonetheless, too, which was awesome. So really appreciate you guys. I see the crowd is growing. You must like what I'm talking about here. So I'm working on getting better. Like I said, the just getting out there and just absolutely just going for stuff is the only way that you'll ever not have any regrets and know that you actually took the time to throw your cautions out the door and go for stuff. Okay. So as always, thank you all for joining. My name is Dan Hafner. This is the Run Your Day podcast, wrapping up another show. Make it a great day.
Thank you for listening to the Run Your Day podcast. We hope you enjoyed today's show. If you did, feel free to share today's show with friends and family. Until next time, have a great day.